We are in the middle of a giant heat wave here in Oregon, so it felt like the perfect opportunity to talk about climate change. I was originally going to make another video on a different topic, but this one felt more important, felt more personal, felt more pertinent to the times that we are living in. Because yeah, climate change, it is literally an existential threat that humanity is just collectively ignoring right now. We're sweeping it under the rug. We're letting just our geopolitical environment completely facilitate an underpinning of the climate crisis. And so if we don't get our act together, basically, like, shit's gonna go down. I'm sure that many people are aware of this. I don't have to preach to the choir, but what does this have to do with meditation? Well, what I would like to argue in this video is that by committing to a rigorous meditation practice, we are actually helping confront the climate crisis. So if you are interested in that topic, stay tuned. The thing about this climate crisis, climate change, global warming, whatever term you want to use, the fact that our ecosystems are breaking down, let's just be honest, part of what this is built on top of, the fact that this outward behavior of humanity is expressing itself, is because we have been completely cut off from the source of what we are. We are looking at the outside world as a source for happiness and fulfillment and connection. And it's not to say that the outside world does not give us these things. Okay, so having, you know, a loving relationship, a successful career, a life that's filled with purpose and meaning in terms of the contribution that you're making, that's all wonderful. And it's also, you know, there's a lot of joys in life, in the external world. But when we have collectively completely lost touch with an intrinsic source for that fulfillment, what that means is that we by default take on a philosophical position that the external world is what is needed to fulfill us. And the issue with this stance is that this is what leads to the over exploitation of the planet. Okay, so if we had an intrinsic source of happiness, of fulfillment, of meaning, something that was independent of our present condition, and might I even use the word transcendent. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, we find something in ourselves that is deeply significant and transcendent, such that we feel complete, whole, abundant, we feel at peace, we feel actual harmony and happiness with ourselves and with the world. If we were to find that inside of ourselves, what I'm claiming is that the need to constantly seek and constantly take advantage of the external world there would be no basis for that to rest on anymore. The thing about meditation is that it connects us. It connects us with something like that inside of us. And I think that more people need to do it. I think that humanity needs to take on this practice. Obviously, this won't happen overnight, but merely by we ourselves individually taking on that practice, we are in effect giving unspoken permission and holding unspoken or unfelt, at the conscious level, unfelt space for other people to start participating in mindfulness, meditation, being more at peace and okay with themselves. You know, the extent to which a single individual's practice affects their environment and community, that's something that's very difficult to understand and communicate about, but the effects are, they're there. And I think this is why it's so critical for us to, you know, as a meditation community, as just people who are interested in this practice, to realize that, you know, in a very deep sense, the planet kind of needs us. The planet needs us to take responsibility for ourselves and to turn within and to find that sense of peace, that sense of satisfaction, that sense of inner fulfillment, so that we stop looking for the planet to give that to us. So that we stop looking for, like, the external world and, you know, manifesting our greed, our delusion, our ignorance about this inner intrinsic truth and source that's inside of us, at least what I'm claiming. The thing about this is, if, like, hypothetically speaking, if we were to collectively be able to find this peace, this okayness, this deep acceptance, we wouldn't need to take copious amounts of resources from the planet. We wouldn't have a need to hoard massive amounts of wealth in tiny, like, fractions of the human population. I mean, the 1% of the 1% hold the overwhelming majority of the human wealth on this planet. I mean, that is absurd if you think about what we need to be doing to maximize human flourishing. It's utterly absurd. But part of why we have such systems in place, it's complicated. There's a lot of reasons actually, but one of the primary reasons at the very root level, at one of the deepest levels, I'm arguing that the reason is because we don't have this inner source of security, abundance, completeness, wholeness. And so, yeah, I mean, again, this is why we need to practice meditation, man. It is a practice where we are just being with what is. You could be applying any technique that you want, but on some fundamental level, when you sit down and commit to a formal time period, you're basically giving a commitment to yourself to, sit it out no matter what comes up. No matter what comes up, we're just facing it. We're just facing it. We're just being with it. We're just accepting it. And the power that has on the ways that we live life thereafter, the ways in which we bring this practice, this state of mind, this mindfulness, this equanimity, this acceptance into our daily lives cannot be understated. The value of it cannot be understated. And the last thing that I would just like to say about this topic, finding inner peace, saving the planet, this kind of the hippie dream. It's just that when we first start on this path, the depth that we can go, like the length of the journey, of this hero's journey, so to speak, is insane. Utterly insane. And so it's very difficult to communicate the significance, the depth, the specialness of what this work entails to other people. So when you do take this practice on, when we do take this practice on, I think it's important to realize that communicating the significance of this work, it does not typically come through spoken language. It comes up with the way that we show up for ourselves and other people. It comes with us pursuing what makes us excited, what makes us happy, what makes us passionate. It comes by how we manifest our souls, basically, on a relative level with other people. So when we think about saving the planet, the most that each or any of us can do is to just embody this work, is just do the fucking work and embody it. And we have to just trust that whatever intelligence is running the show, whatever intelligence is grounding, why is there something rather than nothing? We just have to trust that that's gonna be enough, man. So that's all I really had to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this style of content, please subscribe. Please hit that like button if you enjoy the video. If you have any thoughts, questions, or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time.